I call a Finance Committee meeting of Monday, June 26, 2017 to order. On our agenda this evening is to do some end-of-year cleanup, so some reserve fund transfers and an end-of-year transfer. I'm going to take it, you want to do the reserve fund transfers first?
Sure.
Oh, no, you have this one first.
Yeah.
All right, we'll do the end-of-year transfer. So this is a transfer from one account line item to another account line item. In this case, we'd be transferring from health insurance into the veterans expenses line item, and this is for burial benefits and for flags to mark the graves of our veterans. So the request is for $1,350. It has been approved by the Board of Selectmen already, so these have to be approved both by the Board of Selectmen's office as well as the Finance Committee, and then the transfer from one account line item to another is approved. Any discussion on this transfer request? Is there a motion on this transfer request?
So moved.
Second.
Any more discussion? All those in favor of approving this transfer request? That is 6-0.
I abstain.
Oh, 5-0.
I didn't hear what it was.
Well, the 6 was still present. Okay. So we have 3 reserve fund transfer requests. Coming into tonight, we had $80,604.16 available in the reserve fund. At this point, Beth is keeping us apprised of everything. She believes that what we end up doing tonight should put us in a good position that we won't need to do anything for the rest of the year, but we're going to keep our July 10th meeting just in case something else does come up or that needs to be back funded. So I'm going to take these in no particular order. We have one for $1,241.32 to be transferred to the police general expense. This is to pay for repairs on the traffic light at King Road and South Franklin Street. And some raising, and first, what's that other one? Sorry, go ahead.
Verizon raised their rates on us for the year cards for last month.
For the what, I'm sorry?
They used to charge us $266.72 for the last 11 months for our year cards.
Air cards.
Year cards.
Okay.
And this year they charge us $400. They raised their rates.
Have we looked at,
260 to 400?
have we looked at alternative suppliers for that data link?
You know, but that during state bid, they were undercharging us before for the whole year. And I think they
But
realized.
there's no other providers on the state bid contract that are less than.
And the other things for the traffic lights in King Road, which were
Yeah, what happened? What was the?
about a month and a half ago, we had the one on the corner of South Franklin and King, water was getting in and shorting it out. We replaced that one, and it happened again. He came out and he said there's still water getting in, they're corroded, so they put new ones up and sealed them all, so hopefully they will not break again.
I was going to ask a dumb question. Why are you paying for this? Why?
DPW.
Yeah, why is it coming out of your bill and not DPW?
That's a huge question. I can't answer that question.
It's connected somehow, isn't it, to the fire?
Yeah, but I don't want to start a precedent.
No, I agree with you. I just...
Yeah, I mean, it's looped in, so when but it's sort of like the center
Well,
of town's
that's
looped
true,
in, that they
true,
push the
yeah.
button and all the
Right.
lights change.
Right.
Well, when I asked, they said, well, they usually call when there's a problem, so I don't, at the time, it was just, let's get it fixed. This was like whatever,
Right.
last Thursday. So it didn't, and I know whoever fixed it needed the money. DPW, it's not like they have money either.
Right, no, I get that part, but I would like to think that just because it's a light next to the police station, it's not.
It seems to be whenever I call,
I don't want my police chief having to take care of streetlights. I want you to take care of police stuff and my DPW taking care of it. I mean, I'm just a
That's a good
citizen in
point.
this case, I'm not, but,
it's a good point, but
all right.
they're expensive. Every time they come out, believe me, it's expensive.
So do you,
Last time it was $600 for one of them.
but you have traditionally called about that for some reason.
When I call,
We
I
can change that. We can have Benji do it, but
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out how that ever
just
Sees it.
Probably a good question, and
Yeah.
probably something we'll look at.
Yeah.
We'll straighten out. All right, so that's the first one. Then there's a $2,000 reserve fund transfer request to go to police overtime for overtime, filling some shifts in court time and extra hire.
I had an officer, wife had a baby, so he was out. Court time, I got 4 guys in court tomorrow, we tried to get him out of it. They said no. They could be there all day, they could be there 4 hours. It's a pretty serious charge, it's strangulation, so I can't,
No, we don't want to risk having a problem there because we're not doing our part, showing up in court.
that's, figure hopefully covers enough if they're there for a short time, but
How much was that?
2,000. Okay. And the third one is, the request that was written was for $1,155.98 for professional technical. So we know that we have a bill for $1,155.98 that we have to cover, that we're going to be short. This is one of those areas that we also anticipate we might be short something. We don't know an exact amount, but for June's billings for this specific, for professional technical. So I'm going to suggest that we amend this and add $5,000 to this to make it $6,155.98. It's not, they're not going to, the town administrators are going to spend more on professional technical than they were before, but the goal is that it allows Beth to close out books hopefully and not have to have one meeting for one issue. We do this and we'll probably have issues we'll still have to meet about, but I'd rather do it and have that chance that we don't have to be Beth's good
And
to
it
go.
just goes to free cash if it doesn't get spent.
If it's not spent, exactly. And we're a week out, so it's not, again, it's not like
No, right.
allowing free reign to go out.
Right.
I'm not gonna start,
Do a lot of
I'm
legal
not
stuff.
starting any legal projects tomorrow or the next day.
This is the legal cost one?
This is the professional technical / yeah, it's for legal, but the account line item is professional technical.
Okay. And what are the expenses for again?
So we have specifically a $1,155 bill for one legal issue that's pertaining to Norfolk Aggie, I believe. And then there's just general legal expertise we would have used for the month of June for various issues, human resources or ongoing legal issues and whatnot.
So she had 2,500, but it's actually,
So she had put, Beth had sent us an email earlier today kind of advising us of some things that we're going to be seeing. She had put 2,500 sort of as a ballpark. When this request was written earlier this afternoon, it was written just for that one specific bill.
Yeah.
So we know that there's something else lingering. I mean, we did 4,000 extra, 5,000 extra, who knows? We're not going to be perfect. But I'd rather be a little bit more, knowing that the account's not going to get drained for frivolous reasons, and it's going to go to free cash if it's not needed. Try to make it easier for the town account and for.
And I'll find out as soon as I can if there's anything going on. The only place it could be going on is the library, where they've got that ongoing issue, if it's gonna be something crazy, but I don't expect it to be.
Do we need to take them one at a time?
Yeah, I'd like to take them one at a time,
Okay.
especially for amending one. So is there a motion to approve the $1,241.32 from reserve fund for police general expense?
So moved.
Is there a second? Any more discussion? All those in favor of approving that? Okay. Next is for $2,000 for a reserve fund transfer to police overtime line item. Is there a motion?
Oh, so moved.
Is there a
Second.
second? Any more discussion on that one? All those in favor of that? And last is going to be for $6,155.98. Reserve funds transferred to professional technical line item.
So moved.
Second.
Any more discussion? All those in favor of that? And that is all we have for this evening. We've had at least 2 people that I know of that have expressed interest on, we're going to take a step back.
Yeah.
I got an email from Jessie maybe a week ago that due to her life situation and whatnot, she's resigning from the finance committee. I know I see Leo in the back of the room. We had gotten an email from the town clerk right after town meeting that there was an issue with registering to vote, Leo. So unfortunately, you have to be a registered voter in the town of Holbrook, and I think there was an issue with when you registered a car that registered him in Randolph, where he used to live, or be registered instead of in Holbrook. So unfortunately, that, according to the town clerk at the time, struck him automatically from finance committee immediately. But I think that, yeah, please, that's, I was just trying to give the background of it. But because I know since then there's been, I haven't gotten anything from the clerk yet, but I know there's been discussion.
I have a checkbook that is like, 10 plus years ago. With my whole address on that way I used to live in Randolph, years ago. So I did pay by small car for less than $2,000. But I give them a check, so you start writing on the title with that, on the
Yeah.
title, on the title that, I'm buying the car from. And as it started, I said, hey, well, you started already. As I did on up the house in Randolph at the time, I said, okay, you can leave it there because I will come back to me anyway. Here's the title, and you can confirm that if you want to. The title will come back to me to Holbrook, even though they sent it to Randolph. That's all it was.
Right. So I'm not,
But I showed that to already. I sold the house. Right now the house is sold anyway. So just think about that aside.
so I think that for the rest of this term, which is over in 2 weeks, July 15th, I think that according to the clerk, unless the clerk says something different.
At that time also, I received two different, we used to have letters from, I'm used in Holbrook and I'm used in Randolph at the same time. I said, this is impossible. But, so I showed her everything already. She sent me one off, she sent me a good one. Randolph sent me another one.
Right. So I think that, so we've got, right now, technically, according to the clerk, we've got, your seat is open, Jesse's seat is open. There's 3 people that are up this year. I think Peter, Jesse was up, and myself. So Jesse's not seeking reappointment. I will not be seeking reappointment. I'm ready to hand over the finance committee, and I think that you folks are in good stead, and there's some good folks coming on board. So one thing about, so I think that Leo, obviously, there's 2 other candidates I said that have expressed interest. I know obviously Leo is still expressing interest to get back on the finance committee. So there's at least the 2 openings, and, I don't know what, I think Peter's planning on staying on board, he had said, but, so there's some good candidates that the moderator will review and go over and make some appointments.
You said there were at least 2 candidates?
I've gotten emails that at least 2 candidates, yes, and they've been sent to the moderator, but I asked to be copied so that at least we were kind of in the loop on it.
I know I had somebody, I just want to make sure the person who I spoke to,
I'll
was
let you
talking
know
afterwards,
that, so,
yeah.
Make sure that that
Yeah,
person's
he was very interested, yep.
It's noted. And some, from what I saw briefly in their letter of interest, good people that want to get involved. And if somebody else is still out there watching and wants to get involved, wants to come to the finance committee, we asked that by June 30th they sent a letter of interest so that, sort of some kind of deadline on it so that you could review those as the new term starts, technically July 16th. So currently we're scheduled to meet July 10th. That is our next meeting, and then we wouldn't meet typically until after Labor Day. So that's sort of the plan at this point. And I still have access, obviously, to all of the emails and everything that come into the Holbrook FinCom address. I'll get those to Peter as the current vice chair, and then once you reorg in the fall, I'll meet and make sure everybody has everything, that all the history and all the stuff. And I'm not going anywhere. I'm not leaving town. I'm still going to be around, and you can't get rid of me that easy. But I think it's time to hand over the finance committee to some other folks. I hope that you guys stay vigilant. Keeping department heads asking the firm questions, making sure that the budget is balanced, making sure that we're looking forward and paying for things like OPEB and sick leave buybacks, and what is it really costing us to operate our business today. I always look in the back and see Director Hook and make sure that as he keeps expanding regionalization of our communications, that we keep on the track that we're on now of making sure that it's fair to all towns and equitable, and I think that we're well on that path. So, just keep it up and keep the finances in line, hopefully. Anything else for this evening? Director Hook?
Good evening.
I kind of gave you a good segue, didn't I?
So, I just wanted to bring something to the committee's attention. The town has a service called Code Red. It's a reverse 911, they call it a reverse 911 system where we can send out calls to the residents, police department can, fire department can, for emergencies. For years and years and years, the Norfolk County Sheriff's Department has paid that service to 11 communities in Norfolk County, one of them being Holbrook. We were just notified today that they can no longer do that due to budget constraints. So as of July 1st, we are not going to have that service available to us anymore. I did a little research, and it's $5,300 a year for Holbrook to buy that service, and that's just for Holbrook, out to the residents of Holbrook. But I just wanted to bring that to your attention. Not sure how you want to handle it, but obviously it's not budgeted anywhere. So July 1st, we're going to be without that service.
And you might not have the answer to the question, but how does that work with people that have cell phones and have no landlines?
Good question. So they can sign up. There's an app that you can download. You can get it through an app. You can sign up through a website, and you can add your cell phone to the service. So it's mostly landlines, and I did a little research today. It's like 4,700 numbers are currently in the system. Majority of them landlines. Doesn't matter if your number's private or not, you automatically get added to that, but people can enroll their cell phones as well. That will obviously have to be handled through the communication center, but you can also download a app to your phone free of charge, where the notifications will go out.
I imagine you're going to do a lot of looking at what other towns do. I mean, does everybody still use this reverse? I wonder how many people you have that you can say, you know, with the school system, obviously has this system of communicating with all the people that are in their network. Obviously, you're not going to get anybody in the school, but are there other ways that people are communicating and making sure that they get, you know, I know we've had, like, I think we used this system before. We had a boil water issue with,
Yep.
you know, that kind of thing.
So every town that I know has some type of reverse 911 system. Most of the towns use Code Red. Through this service, you can also post, and if we approve it and we do it, to social media. So to Facebook, Twitter, any town sites that we have, it can be automatic when we send out a message. It will automatically post on social media as well. Now this system is obviously for emergencies, but some towns do use it for, hey, the parade's canceled or something really non-emergent. I don't recommend that because people kind of forget about why it's important. But as of July, I just wanted to reiterate, as of July 1st, we are not going to have a way really to notify the residents if we do have an emergency, other than the couple thousand people that we have on social media.
We automatically cut off July 1st no matter what. It's not something we can extend and figure out and then pay for it. And
I didn't hear you, I'm
it's
sorry.
not something we can continue on from July 1st till, I don't know, July 31st until we figure out how we're going to fund it.
Well, we have to sign up for it, so this is brand new, I think my email came to me.
Today.
Yeah, I know you said it today, so I might be asking a question you're already
Steve,
thinking
you know
of.
anything about this? He said, oh, it's news to me. The county's been paying for this. So it's brand new. I said, why don't you just let the finance committee know? I'm sure the selectmen, and we're gonna wanna have this service. But what we might be doing is coming to you in July for a reserve fund transfer, you know? Or just to let you know that if, let's say we put it in somebody's budget, know that as the year progresses, this $5,000 was sort of not really budgeted for, but really just an FYI heads up. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
One other thing, since you're there, are we in discussions with another community? I think I saw in the newspaper, but I think it was Ron that said that we'd already signed a memorandum of agreement or something.
So we are in discussions with the town of Rockland for police and fire, and we do have an intermunicipal agreement signed with them. The problem is we have no room, and we have no physical space to bring Rockland in. I've applied for a $3.6 million development grant to add on to the public safety building. It's a 2-year project, no cost to the town. The problem that we're gonna have is, to be honest, there's $12 million in 911 development money this year, and there's $48 million in requests. So the 911 department's gonna have a challenge ahead of them to figure out who gets what for money. So, but I think the 911 department recognizes that we are expanding. We're out of space. I'm actually meeting with them this week so they can look over what we have. And, you know, if it's not this year, hopefully it's next year. But I think we're on the right track. The agreement that we signed with the town of Rockland is worth $560,000 between the money that Rockland's going to contribute and the amount of money, the increase we're going to get from the 911 department. So it's a good deal, but we need the building to go along with it. So we'll see what happens.
So you needed an agreement to apply for the grant.
Correct.
Right?
Yes,
That was,
absolutely.
It was sort of like a backwards way, but it was the only way to get the building going. So in
Correct.
theory, if we don't get the building for the grant,
We can't do
state-
Rockland.
We can't do it, yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Anything else? Anything else? Anybody back there? You got anything? Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second. Any more discussion? All those in favor? Thank you and good night.